Economists have also highlighted the wide-ranging implications of yet another U-turn in the VAT saga. Prowess Asset Management's Qhivi Tiva speaks to us about these developments. Thank you so much for your time. How has the domestic market received the latest developments?
Good evening to you and good evening to the viewers. Today's market reaction to the news was positive. We saw local bonds rally and the rand trading stronger against the dollar on the back of this announcement. The proposed increase had resulted in uncertainty in our market since February and highlighting that there were divisions within the GNU. The market
and as such, we had seen an increase in the risk premium of South African assets to reflect that increased risk. And following this announcement, that risk premium still persists, reflecting the fact that even though the VAT hike has been removed, there is still a lot of risk around the funding side of things, and also from a GNU perspective. In terms of the short-term impact, the announcement is positive for South African consumers. And with inflation also printing lower yesterday, we hopefully might see a 25 basis point cut in the repo rate from the MPC next week, which will provide much needed boost for consumers. But looking to the long term, I think, as I mentioned, the risk to the stability of the GNU still remain. And the next battleground will be around how will this shortfall be filled in terms of the spending cuts that need to be made. And unfortunately, the cuts will need to be made at a time where the economy desperately needs investment in areas that will increase growth. And this also comes at a challenging time, looking at the global backdrop in terms of the pressures to the global economy, largely caused by US trade policies.
Absolutely. And I think maybe what is to be mentioned is that at this point, the 2025 budget remains in limbo. The long-term effects of that, what are they likely to be? Because there's already talk of Budget 3.0 as a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the Treasury has to go back to the drawing board. And they've got a very difficult task in terms of keeping up with the goals of fiscal consolidation, where trade-offs will have to be made. The only obvious area is obviously cutting expenditure, which politically is likely to be challenging, which also reflects some of the friction that we've seen from a GNU perspective. And also from a market perspective, if we then look at the extreme of increasing debt, that is also likely to, I guess, put pressure on the budget in terms of increasing the already high cost of servicing debt in the economy.
How much of this is going to be a negative in terms of how the global economic landscape sees South Africa and the indecisive tensions that have emerged within the GNU?
It is negative. And also, I guess, in terms of markets look for stability from a political perspective. So with what this issue has highlighted is some of the challenges in terms of the functioning of the GNU and the ability to make it in terms of all the reforms that need to be implemented in the economy. That the coalition government have what it takes to implement those policies that are required in the economy. So it will likely result in us retaining this elevated risk premium on South African assets until we have clarity around the future of the GNU.
Thank you for your input. Qhivi TV is with